what if you had only 5 minutes to react to a potential threat? Sounds like a scene from an action movie, right? Now imagine this, not in the fictional world of Hollywood, but in the very real world of international politics. Just recently, a Chinese military aircraft was spotted hovering ominously close to Taiwan's presidential office building. The Taiwanese leadership were, understandably, more than just a little bit alarmed. Now you might be thinking, well, that's a plot twist, and you wouldn't be wrong. Chinese flights into Taiwan's air defense identification zone have become bolder and more frequent, stoking fears of a possible decapitation strike on Taiwan's leadership. But fear not, our story has a hero. Taiwan's defense minister, downplaying the fears, assured everyone that the military is prepared to prevent such Hollywood-esque scenarios. Imagine the adrenaline rush, folks. It's like being in a real-life action movie, except you can't yell cut when things get too intense. Now, if you think this is an isolated incident, think again. The frequency and audacity of Chinese flights into Taiwan's air defense identification zone have been on the rise, much like the annoying neighbor who insists on parking his car in your driveway. But instead of a beat-up old station wagon, we're talking about military aircraft. And instead of a suburban cul-de-sac, we're dealing with international airspace. These aren't casual Sunday drives, folks. Each flight is a calculated move, as strategic as it is bold. Picture your neighbor not just parking in your driveway but doing donuts, blasting music, and leaving tire tracks on your lawn. And every time you confront him, he just grins, revs his engine, and says, "What are you going to do about it?" This is no laughing matter, though. These aren't just annoying pranks but potential threats to Taiwan's national security. The Taiwanese military is responding by conducting drills and simulations, much like you might install a security camera or, in a more extreme case, a moat around your house to deter your obstinate neighbor. It's like your neighbor who keeps parking his car in your driveway, except this time, it's aircrafts and the driveway is the sky. The sky, it seems, is not the limit when it comes to this escalating game of aerial chicken. Now, what happens when things escalate just a notch too high? Well, let's talk about a game of chicken, not your average barnyard fowl, but one involving steel birds in the sky. Remember that time when a Chinese jet came within 5 minutes of Taiwan's top office? That was a bit too close for comfort, wasn't it? Now imagine that with a twist of American flavor. Picture a Chinese warship engaging in a daring maneuver coming within 150 yards of a US destroyer. It's like a high-octane race in the Taiwan Strait, but instead of race cars we have military vessels, and instead of a trophy we're talking about international peace at stake. And the tension doesn't stop there. It's been a series of close shaves, with Chinese military aircrafts and American vessels playing a dangerous game in the international airspace. It's like an action movie, except the stakes are real and there's no director to yell, "Cut!" And that, folks, is how you nearly start an international incident in just 5 minutes. It's like playing a high-stakes game of chicken, except the chicken is an advanced military aircraft and the road is the international airspace.